したるわ。挽回坂島横島八方塞
イコミキ殿へ崩落八景全身全霊でお相手します。
シリエル神の使いの前になすすべなどなし。
Alright, what is going on, guys? This is your boy the Smasher, and welcome back to another Bleach Brave Souls video. And this video is sponsored by my really low ass orb count because I did step 15 of the Burn the Witch banner. Now, I did not get Null, but I got myself a nice, juicy dupe of Nini, which is actually nice. So now that does help combat the whole range collision SA1, so now she'll be a better character. So I'm actually quite happy about that, but I still need to get Null, so I'll keep on summoning on the banner a little bit further. But anyways, without further ado, we're back again with another Who Is Better video, and today we are going to be comparing all of these fucking Power Soul Reaper killers that we have that are OP as fuck. Just that I really feel like we don't need any more of these characters, if I'm being honest. Like, power is so stacked to the point it's like we don't really need them. But anyways, we're gonna be comparing the new Lille Barro to Hikone Shinji and the Resurrected Hikone. So yeah, 1,000 year blow war character versus 2 can't fare your own world Power Soul Reaper killers. So yeah, oh my god, we have too many of these actual characters in the game. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and take a look at what's on paper for all 3 of the characters. I'll be removing the Transcendent slots because I have Shinji and Hikone 2 out of 5, while Lille is 1 out of 5. So yeah, starting off with Hikone. Hikone is a ranged Soul Reaper killer that is a no affiliation type of unit. So for when it comes to rocking him in Inheritance Zone, he is immune to all types of enemies that have killer in IZ and Droplet Zone, which is already nice. And he's also got weakening on all of his attacks. So yeah, hold on, I'm gonna go ahead and remove the Transcendent slots. There we go. It does cost 8 million coins, but I'm doing it for the sake of the actual comparison. And by the way, don't worry, upon removing the slots, you can actually get them back like as if nothing ever happened. So for those of you guys that think, oh, I'm actually removing slots just to gain easy views, no, that's not the fucking case. I wouldn't even be doing this comparison to begin with if I weren't given the possibility to put it back at level 10. I would be just using my coins, and yeah. And to get back my coins, I just need to sell my droplets. But anyways, small rant over. Anyways, as I stated, he's a no affiliation unit with the Soul Reaper killer ability. He does have strong attack reachers, time minus 12%, and he's got 1,111 stamina, attack at 645, defense at 349, focus at 353, and an SP of 803. He's got weakening on everything, but that being said, Hikone's kit does differ compared to Shinji and Lille because unfortunately he was given the range collision vortex pushback kind of attack. However, his third is basically the same type of third strong attack that the Mind Koga has, which is the classic 1,170 radius in front of him, which is actually damn good. And he's got a Bruiser of 20%, Berserker at 20%, Devastation at 40%, Havoc at 20%, Frenzy, Debilitator plus 2 seconds. He's got the Disabler against Tech Soul Reapers, so he will have an easier chance at being able to inflict weakening, and he's got Spurn plus 2. So at the very least, even though Hikone technically is going to clear slower compared to Lille and Shinji, he does have Sprinter plus 2 to somewhat compensate for the lack of a good second strong attack. But keep in mind that Hikone has weakening, so where he is actually going to shine the most is actually going to be in guild quests compared to Shinji and Lille. But yeah, that's Hikone in a nutshell. Now as for Shinji, he's basically a captain slash holo unit. Now, unlike Hikone and Lille that are basically immune to enemies with killer, Shinji does however get affected in a lot of inheritance zones and droplet zones because, well, most of the raids have captain and holo killers, so it's like it'll be hard to bring this character without dying easily unless you know how to dodge like a madman and pretty much get away with it. But anyways, Soul Reaper Killer with strong attack reaches time minus 12%. He's got 1100 stamina, attack at 638, defense at 352, focus at 355, and an SP of 798. Slightly lower stats compared to Hikone, however, he does compensate it with his insane kit. He's basically got the exact same kit as Lille Barro, being the beam move on first, 960 radius on second, AoE distant, and then the 1200 around him, which is already nice. And he does have confusion on all of his attacks. Now, confusion normally is one of the worst status elements to pretty much have in the game, but Shinji does have his own skill to pretty much compensate for having confusion. So yeah, he's got 20% Bruiser, 20% Berserker. He's got as well as not just the 20% Berserker, but the increased power attribute capped in strong attack damage. So, in other words, this guy has a 40% Berserker. However, if you have Shinji in co-op or on a team in single player IC, you can run units like 1000 Year Blower, Toshiro, Can't World, Shunsui, and give them the extra 20% Berserker in order to be able to do even more damage with their strong attack. So other than Shinji being a heavy hitter, he is actually going to be boosting other power captains. However, the only disadvantage is that it's towards power captains, not power Soul Reapers. So units like 1000 Year Blower Nemu and 5th Anniversary Ichigo will be missing out on this buff, which is a bit unfortunate. Havoc at 20%, Frenzy, Debilitator plus 5 seconds, increased damage to confused enemies plus 40%, and Sprinter plus 1. So again, this is what saves Shinji from having the bad status element, because he does 40% more damage to enemies that have been inflicted by confusion. Which is actually damn nice, because as soon as you manage to proc it, boom, that's basically an easy plus 40% Berserker. However, notice that he does not have a devastation at 40% unlike Hikone, so for when it comes to nuking in single player content, it's okay, but it's in co-op IZ where you can pretty much notice that you will have a harder time trying to nuke in there. That's all I gotta really say. But yeah, that's basically Shinji's stats and skills. He still is an excellent unit, that's all I gotta say. And now, Lille, finally. So Lille, he is also immune to all types of raids where enemies have killer effects in either IZ or Droplet Zone, because of the fact that he is a Quincy / Sternrider unit. But like Hikone and Shinji, he also has Soul Reaper Killer. Like, heck, if he didn't have Soul Reaper Killer, then I wouldn't even be comparing them to Shinji and Hikone. But other than that, he's got even higher stats compared to Shinji and Hikone, because he's got 803 spiritual pressure and a focus of 369, attack at 645, defense at 354, and a stamina of 1105. Strong attack reaches time minus 12%, and then, now here's the unfortunate part, he's got no status elements. However, he does compensate it by having a 40% Bruiser, 40% Berserker, and a Devastation at 60%, because normally, when it comes to units that don't get status elements, they get an even higher Berserker to compensate for not being able to, being able to weaken, paralyze, freeze, etc., which is actually nice. So, yeah. Havoc at 20%, Frenzy, Sprinter plus 1, Guard Break, and hit hidden enemies at 100%. So, in other words, Lille is pretty much the perfected type of character to bring for when it comes to clearing content fast. Like, he will be able to clear faster than Shinji and Byakuya altogether. Heck, even faster than Hikone. But yeah, and that's basically all three of the characters completely summed up. And by the way, for those of you guys that were wondering why I did not bring Byakuya instead of Hikone for this comparison video, well, it's pretty much to, have a different unit into the mix for when it comes to these types of comparison videos, because literally, Byakuya is literally the same type of character that Lille is. Like, he's got the exact same kit, just that Byakuya does have freeze, and he's got poison immunity. Like, that is literally the only difference, while Lille, he's got no status elements, and he does have guard break and hit hidden enemies. So Even though Lille will have the advantage in terms of being able to clear faster and pretty much, you know, not have to give him a Zeta pill and, you know, he'll be able to guard break. He will not be able to inflict status ailments. While with Byakuya, he does get the nice touch of being able to inflict freeze, which will be clutch in guild quests and, of course, co-op content in general for when it's actually hard to clear. But yeah. Anyways, how we're going to build up these characters, we're going to be bringing them both in IZ, do their respective individual runs, and we'll have the characters built up nicely. And now because this type of IZ also has underground enemies and Lille does benefit the actual hit in an enemy skill, I don't want to give Hikone and Shinji the clear advantage and to just let alone compare them by skills and what they're capable of doing. So instead of giving all three of the characters a Zeta pill, I'm just going to give them the strong attack damage item, the pill, and the bait all with 30% SP, and the links. You can pretty much expect them to be hybrid strong attack damage and strong attack recharge links, being, well, Frenzy Byakuya and Tag Team Byakuya, and a character that has level 10 SP added as a link. So yeah, let's just go ahead and start off with the individual runs, and you can pretty much expect the exact same format we used for Grammy, Isane, and Candice. And now that the gameplays are over, let us quickly analyze all three of the characters' kits. Starting it off with Hikone, 3000 length beam move on first, range collision vortex pushback on second, and AoE distant 1170 radius on his third strong attack, weakening on everything. As for Shinji, he shares the exact same kit as Lille, so let's do a brief analysis for the both. Both have a 3000 length beam move on first, second strong attack is a 960 radius AoE in front of him, and the third, they both have 1200 radius full screen third strong attack around him. Shinji has confusion while Lille has nothing. And with that, let us go ahead and begin the pros and cons for all three of the characters. Starting it off with Hikone, has weakening. Weakening is so damn strong that it weakens the enemy from doing only 1 damage and immensely lowers the defense, allowing you to do extra damage upon inflicting the status ailment, something that is mandatory in guild quests for when doing really fast runs, which, by the way, here comes another pro for Hikone. Amazing in guild quests. This is all due to the fact that he has weakening on his entire kit. If you have units like 5th Anniversary Byakuya and Tokinada, you can give your support units a big advantage and get an insanely fast run done with Hikone as a main runner. Has 3 flash steps. This is thanks to him having Sprinter +2, which also compensates for the fact that his second strong attack doesn't clear waves of mobs as fast as Shinji or Lille. No affiliation unit. On top of being immune to killers in co-op content, Senkaimon does have floors where you can actually use Hikone if you just so happen to stumble on a floor in which you are missing an optimal no affiliation unit with Soul Reaper Killer. And now time to look at Hikone's cons. Ranged Collision's second strong attack. As good as it may be in guild quests for being able to easily proc weakening and use him like Power Aizen, he unfortunately will not be able to clear as fast as the other characters he competes against for when it comes to PvE content. Needs a Zeta Pill. Unlike Lille, he has to be given a Zeta Pill to hit underground enemies, which is undoubtedly going to make Hikone lose out on potential damage that he can dish out in order to do faster runs in co-op content. With that being said and done, let's talk about Bankai Shinji. Starting off with his pros, Captain and Holo affiliation. Even though Shinji will be heavily affected by Killer in Inheritance Zone, as there are more raids where enemies have either Captain or Holo Killer, for Senkaimon quests, he is actually very useful as he can clear floor 49 of Cave of Diligence in under a minute should you guys still not have Power Wide Ichigo, and can clear floor 24 of Path of Valor without having to need Spirit Society Byakuya, so overall, double use in hard Senkaimon floors. Boosts power captain units. Because Shinji has the 20% Berserker boost to captains, units like Spirit Society Byakuya, 1000 Year Blood War Toshiro, and Canfield Road Shunsui, also Machine Society Toshiro if you guys still use them, it basically gives them the 20% Berserker onto them, allowing the units to do more damage than needed, which is insane. And this only works for when you have Shinji in the same team as Byakuya or any other captain, whether it's in single player content or co-op. 40% more damage to confused enemies. It is very random that this happens, but it's a lifesaver in Senkaimon quests as it can also help with finishing off the remaining bosses. Shinji is still one of the top 5 best power characters in the game, but he doesn't come without his cons. Starting it off with one of them, lack of devastation. This will hurt Shinji a lot for when it comes to using him in guild quests, and overall when it comes to nuking full rooms and co-op with or without the tension tie. Sure, the 40% extra damage to confused enemies does act as a replacement for the devastation, but because the first hits are always nerfed when taking out a bunch of waves, you will struggle to even demolish an entire room, whether it be Inheritance Zone or Extreme Co-op. Needs a Zeta Pill. Same statement as Hikone, he needs to be given one to hit underground enemies, and the use of it will pretty much require some sacrifice to potential damage that Shinji can do. And now time to move on to the best of the three, being the X-Axis, Lille Barro. Starting it off with his pros, no Zeta Pill needed. This guy is known as the X-Axis, meaning that whatever he shoots out, he penetrates through everything. Except ranged resistance, seeing as he wasn't given sharpshooter. But anyways, unlike Shinji and Hikone, whereas if you want to make the runs faster and be able to hit enemies that are underground, he doesn't need it, as he already has the hit underground enemy onto the skill, meaning that with Lille, you can go for the full Pill, Cape Fastener, and Quincy Cross combo and get away with it, doing your best possible damage and getting fast runs in. Quincy/Stern Rider unit. Just like how Hikone is immune to killers in IZ and DZ, the same thing can be said about Lille. Only difference is, as of right now, there isn't much content to use him in Senkaimon quests. But I do think that we are bound to get another Senkaimon tower where either him or Ugram, or even both, are going to get their own Senkaimon floor. Hit or miss pro, just wanted to include this type of hypothesis. And now, time to talk about Lille's cons, which, by the way, he only has one. Lack of status ailments. Lille is perfect in every way, shape, or form as a Soul Reaper killer, has everything he basically needs, OP kit with a set of OP skills. But what he does not have is any type of status ailments. So for when nuking in PvE content, you'll just do damage with no additional proc inflicted against the enemies, and for guild quests, you'll pretty much get outperformed by round 8 Hikone. Yes, I've said it, Hikone in guild quests is better than Lille, and it's all merely because Hikone has weakening while Lille has nothing but damage on him. So to overall conclude this comparison, Lille takes the number 1 spot. Second goes to Shinji, and third goes to Hikone. With all that being said, Shinji, even though he lost his number 1 spot, if you guys have him with dupes invested on him, he is still an essentially amazing unit to use to this day, and he still holds up well because he is a melee Soul Reaper killer rather than a ranged one. Hikone, on the other hand, it's just his second strong attack holding him back from being better than Lille and Shinji, but he is still an amazingly good unit to use even if you don't have Byakuya or Lille or Shinji and gets the job done regardless. Where Hikone shines the most compared to all Soul Reaper killers for power is in guild quests, which is saying a lot for a unit that got a bad second strong attack, which is impressive to say the least. And that ends the comparison between Lille, Hikone, and Shinji. Now, if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash that like button, share this video with your friends and family, subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already, and hit the bell notification so that way you guys are up to date with my most recent videos. Now, I won't be having anything up until, well, the reveal of the end of the month gacha, and I am possibly gonna be going back in on Burn the Witch, maybe even have a video of me going back in for Noel, but I don't really know what to expect other than, well, let's just see what end of the month is because it's only a couple days away, so sorry if this video took a while to actually make. These types of comparison videos normally take a lot more time and process into making this video, especially for when it comes to 3 characters. I normally have an easier time if it's 2 characters, but hey, I decided to do this 3-way for you guys, the fans. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. This has been your boy, the Smasher, and I am signing out. Peace out, lads.